What's going on? What's going on, my guys? And let's see. Oh, sorry we're late, bro. It's all my fault. Don't blame the greatest co-host ever, Rockin' Robbie. All me. He was on time.
I was, and I'm glad that I
didn't overtime and on time.
Well, and I didn't cut a new intro for this week, so Dylan punished me by not being on time, and then he just used the stuff intro, which I thought was rather appropriate. So I'm glad to be here and talk about this film with you, man.
I was trying to because they must have changed they updated it, and I'm trying to move it, and it just keeps switching them around. I don't know if they updated how their setup looks. When you get brand
the layout,
the layout's a little different. So I just saw the stuff, and I was just and my computer kind of froze, and I just heard the music. I'm I hope it's working.
It was the stuff. So, good. But we're not talking about the stuff tonight. We're talking about the movie that the stuff was kind of inspired by, right? Or the remake of the movie that the stuff was inspired by.
Yep. The stuff is kind of like a parody of this in a way, but with a big fat commercialism about yogurt, instead of it being scientists cooking up this fucking monster, But, dude, I tell you, 1988's The Blob, which I never really was big into the original. I know a lot of people do like it because I think it has Steve McQueen, correct? I believe.
Yeah.
It's not bad, no doubt. This is just the one I grew up with, So I'm going to obviously be partial to this one. But I always was just even today, I'm still so amazed by the effects. You know what I mean? Especially for back, in the 88, it just feels so ahead of its time or something. I don't know, man. I just love
some of them.
Some of
the effects are really good.
Cool, bro. Because I'm it's just a fucking, just a blob, But they make it creepy, bro. The kills are when they're, there's some obviously that when they're hanging from the ceiling and stuff. But there's a lot of cool ones. The one where she goes into the sink, her whole body, that one still.
Oh, yeah, when they pull the dude into the sink. I'll tell you this. My favorite thing about the 88 remake of The Blob is the special effects.
Yeah.
The in-camera practical effects. Not necessarily the optical composite shots or whatnot, but the in-camera practical effects on The Blob are amazing. Those first few kills are freaking fantastic.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. I like the characters in this one too, besides Steve McQueen. But Kevin Dillon's pretty dope in this one. A little goofy, curly hair with his leather jacket. But I still dig it. before we get completely into that, because I already like felt myself going into it. And I know
Yeah,
you
I was
did.
like, are we starting already, bro?
No, I just that's why I like had to pull back and just but horror news this week, my brother. Horror news this week. What do we got? Let me see. Let me look at my phone.
Yeah, because I got nothing. So
because I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me, son. There's Louise Guzman reportedly in talks to play Gomez in Tim Burton's Addams Family series. Oh shit! So I didn't even know Tim Burton was doing an Addams Family series. Yo, definitely appropriate. I'll tell you that. Evil Dead, the game, will release in February 2022. That should be cool. Single player. I don't know. Was this a fucking phone game? I don't think so. I don't know, but I'll definitely check that out. Oh, and you could get the fucking Halloween Kills Michael Myers replica mask now on Trick or Treat Studios.
Cool.
That thing kind of looks pretty cool.
It's a cool looking mask, man. No lie, it really is.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's the best the mask has been since the original, in my opinion.
I mean, for a franchise that we all love so much, it's crazy how most of the masks in the films don't get it right. It's it's not a problem Jason had. Like his mask kind of got better as it went along for a while there, but no, Michael's just getting fucking worse.
Jason's got it easy. I mean, he's got a fucking hockey mask.
Yeah, but they make it look cooler. They make it look more hefty. Yeah. They make it look more. Yeah. I mean, I think the best it looks is in 7, or 8. Like, so yeah,
definitely.
Michael has the opposite effect. They just kept getting worse.
yeah, right. It looks like the 25th anniversary of Scream is coming up, the original Scream. So it looks like they're going to be doing a 4K Blu-ray release, which nice. I'm probably going to definitely snag that up. Then I might wait though and see that until they just do them all.
I was going to be like, is that just the first movie? Because they'll do a box one.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The only reason I'd want to maybe get this to see if there's going to be special features, like new features, because I already own them all on Blu-ray. Yeah, but I love the first one. Honestly, the first one is the only one I technically would want on 4K, because the rest, man, like they don't, like, I don't know, like it's not like they really look that bad. Like when I watch them, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, they look good, so. I feel like 4K releases are like not needed for stuff like that, more like, I don't know, man. It's like movies that are older and darker. Scream movies are always kind of lit up a little bit more,
Yeah.
But,
well, they're 90s,
Yeah. And, I feel like 70s and 80s, like shit like that. And if I love it, I want a 4K release of that, There
was this weird thing in mainstream horror in the 90s where they were like, they weren't going for atmosphere through cinematography as far as like doing something different. They like most 90s movies look exactly the fucking same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this last week, but I don't think I did. They're doing a Universal Classic Monsters Icons of Horror Collection 4K release, and what it's going to be is Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, and the Wolf Man. Which I'm actually kind of bummed reading that, because where the fuck is the Bride of Frankenstein on there, And the Creature from the Black Lagoon,
So Bride and Creature are not in that set?
No.
Wow, because the Blu-ray set had those and they had Phantom.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, why are they breaking it up? Yeah, and Phantom. I don't really care about the Phantom. But I want it. That's
that's Claude Rains, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but he also does Invisible Man, and he's incredible in Invisible Man.
To be honest, like the Claude Rains Phantom is not near as good as the Lon Chaney silent film.
It's been so long since I've seen it, so that's why I was like, I want it, because I do remember liking it, but it's just I don't know, man. I got the Phantom of the Opera by Robert Englund. I know that's nowhere near as good as the Claude Rains, but some reason, man, I just never get into the Phantom of the Opera that much.
Bro, okay, but you can't.
I gotta be in the mood for it. That's
but you
all.
can't. I feel the same way, but you can't say that you're a Universal horror nut and then skip on Phantom.
No, oh no, I would never do that. I just, it's not like a rewatchable one for me, like big time as like the Wolfman or Dracula, or, you know what I mean? But it's good. It's a classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I didn't even think about that. That's a big ass, because it gives you the 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital code. I don't like that either. Like, they usually just like, if you're buying 4K, you're buying for the 4K, or they should have like one with 4K and Blu-ray and then just 4K and digital.
Yeah. Well, are
they always charge you more? You're paying, so you're gonna pay like 60. I bet that's gonna be like 80 to $100. But then if they did just 4K, it'd be like, 80 or something, 75. I don't know.
Well, is the Wolfman and the Mummy or whatnot, are they remastered? Because, they did like a complete restoration of Frankenstein and Dracula before they released them on Blu-ray. So if they haven't done that level of restoration on the others, what's the point?
Right? I wouldn't doubt it, man. To be honest, it doesn't even say. It just says that they're coming this October 5th. So that's the thing. Like, I don't really, when they do regular 4K, I don't really trust it as much. Like, and a lot of times they end up being shitty because the companies don't really put the work into it. That's I like the Scream Factory, the Arrows, because they're actually like, they put it brand on, like, you know what I'm saying, like on the back. This is a 4K 2022 transfer of the original camera negative. It doesn't say that shit on the back. So really, you don't know what kind of transfer you're getting. It's like, and there's a lot of 4K releases that you go to, and they suck. They look grainy as hell, or they just don't look right, or they're too lit up, or they're too, there's ones though that aren't great,
Yeah, so like the restoration that they did, because it was part of the whole 100-year anniversary of Universal or whatever. They restored a bunch of their classic films, right?
Right.
And they did Dracula and Frankenstein, and that's what's on the Blu-ray that we have, right?
Oh, really?
And they look fucking fantastic. And when you compare it to the other ones, the other ones look fine too, but they're not necessarily like, they don't look as deep. Like, it's weird when you're restoring a film like Dracula or Frankenstein or any of those Universal classics, because there's an element of grain that you want to keep. There's an element of rawness that you want to keep, right?
Right.
And I think that what they did with Dracula and Frankenstein on that last restoration was immaculate. Like the sound, like they kept film grain. They kept some of the scratches, but they cleaned a lot of it out. But they also kept some of it to keep it having that feel. Those are some of the best Blu-rays I've ever watched. I'm really excited to see what it would look like in 4K, but I just, unless they do a restoration like that of the other ones, I just don't. Yeah, Wolfman, Invisible Man. Is Mummy not on this collection?
Dude, no.
Mummy's not even on this collection. What a shit collection, bro.
Fucked up, bro. It really is.
It's literally Dracula.
It's
Dracula, and they got the Invisible Man on there. You can't even see him. Dude. Was that John Cena? What the fuck?
Right, dude. You can't call it the icons of the horror collection because they're all icons.
Now it is the 80th anniversary of Wolfman, so that makes sense. Because 41, yeah, 41, right? So hopefully that gets a restoration. But man, that's a really just hold out for the complete set.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting that. No, I would like to see it, but no. George Romero's horror classic. What's up?
I'm sorry, just what shit, from Universal to do something like that. Like that Blu-ray set they did was really good because it had the first of all the icons. So it had Frankenstein, Dracula, Mummy.
It's a cash grab, no doubt, because then they're going to have a second one. And that's going to be, you know what I'm saying? They're going to do a second, and then they're going to do a third with them all.
Icons Volume 1, Icons Volume 2. Yep. They're probably going to do that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. Dude, because they...
And then 20 years later, they'll restore them again for VR hologram.
Yeah, because get it. Now, Volume 2, you do The Mummy. You do Creature from the
Bride.
Black Lagoon, The Bride. You can't leave The Bride. If you leave The Bride out on Volume 2, people are gonna riot. Facts, like I'm telling you. And then Phantom of the Opera, I guess. Yeah, The Mummy,
Yeah.
Bride, Creature,
And then you do the Legacy collections, the Dracula, all the Dracula movies. Then you do all the Frankenstein and all that again. And then we know what they do now, right? And then you do the whole set all together.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like George Romero's horror classic gets animated with Night of the Animated Dead. You had mentioned that last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or a week before, you might have actually.
A couple weeks ago, yeah. Night of the Animated Dead.
Yeah, I thought it was called something else, but maybe I'm tripping. But
no, it's not. It's Night of the Animated Dead. What I don't like about it is it's just an animated remake of the original film. Like, do different stories. Let different directors do different things, different animators. Like, do it like Gotham Knight. Do it like something like that. Do it like the Animatrix.
Yeah,
that would be cool. But just remaking it,
exactly,
like for a cartoon, like that doesn't. Like, I'd rather watch the original or the remake by Tom Savini. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and
hell, even the 3D one with Sig Haig.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't mind that one. Just for Sid Haig, but it's ridiculous because it makes me excited for that Day of the Dead TV show, man. And I'm not, really feeling for that because at least they're gonna do something different with that, and it'd be like the first 24 hours, I think.
Yeah.
I forget. We were talking about that last week. Am I breaking up though?
No, I hear you. Two Gun says that this week is the anniversary of the release of Body Bags, and I actually think it's the release of the anniversary week of the Blob, bro. I think we had another happy coincidence.
No way.
Let me see.
It said there's a new line of House of a Thousand Corpses action figures on the way from Trick or Treat Studios, including Dr. Satan, Otis Driftwood Baby, Firefly, the Professor, and Captain Spaulding. The 5-inch retro style figures will feature accessories and action features.
That's cool. You ready for this?
Captain Spaulding and ready for what?
Do you know when the Blob released in 1988?
No.
August 5th. August 5th, bro.
No way.
Another happy ass accident. It's just been. It's like, what are the gods trying to say about Dylan's Horror Show right now?
My God.
We are not planning this, y'all, but like all these shows we've been doing have been lining up perfectly.
It started with Return of the Living Dead, and I think we've hit it on the nail every time since.
Yeah, we had to delay the werewolf double feature, but it wound up on a full moon because of that. And now here we are, the week of the release of The Blob from 1988, which was released 30 years after the first one. So interesting. Rob Zombie dolls. That's cool, man. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get them. To be honest, I do. I wouldn't mind like a freaking a baby Otis and a Captain Spaulding just to have them all three, But I'm not gonna. I wish NECA will. I mean, I hope NECA one day does it. So because I got Captain Spaulding, but not the other ones. Man, I tell you too, bro. I'm hyped. I want to see that.
Hey, listen. Playing from Dylan's iPhone.
Sorry, bro.
What?
I accidentally hit the volume on the Stranger Things trailer. It looks like nothing. It looks like recap. Fuck was I gonna say though? Totally forgot. Forget it.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I can't wait for Scream 5 to come out, and I can't wait for fucking Halloween to come out. Look, I'm looking at another picture. The icons of horror. It's too blurry, I think.
What a weak ass set, man.
It really is. It looks like it's a little book. Like we always get, it's like yeah, I think that's what all I got this week for you. I'm trying to think if I had anything else. That's probably it.
Well, good enough.
Good enough. Oh, I know. Oh, Scotty Young though had that cool. I didn't read it yet, but the love. What is it?
The Me
The
You Love
love
in the Dark.
Me You Love in the Dark. Was that her? Like, did that have horror vibes to it? So it looked like it might, but I can't remember.
It only has horror vibes in it if you count ghosts and haunted houses horror.
Oh, cool.
Which I do.
I
think most people do. So yes.
I thought it was. I just didn't want to like say it.
No, it's not like super spooky or scary, but it has those elements to it. It was good. It was my pick of the week. I really, really liked it.
I can't wait to go pick it up.
Same team as Middle West, man. That was one of your favorites.
One of my all-time favorites, man. That's why I got it. I just haven't had time to read them, bro. I didn't even have time to go pick my books up the last 2 weeks. I gotta cut back on more books, bro. For reals.
Yeah, man, that happens.
You know, it does. It does. So I guess we'll jump into the Blob review now, my brother.
Let's do it.
1988, bro. What was it? How long has it been? 30 years since it came out now? Since you just did the
it's been like 33. 2018 would have been 30 years.
I know it wasn't 30 because it's 2021 and it came out in 88, but
yeah. What's interesting is that around the time of the 30th anniversary of the remake, which was released the 30th anniversary of the original, Rob Zombie was attached to do a Blob film, but it just fizzled. Really? It never happened. Could you imagine could you imagine Rob Zombie doing a Blob film? That would have been weird. That'd have been interesting.
Right now he's getting filming and getting everything ready for the Monsters film. He's been like dropping little pictures and shit on his page.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. But that would be something. I do think I recall him talking about that. I think he could have done a really kick-ass Blob movie, to be honest. I think it would have been gory as fuck, but
it would have been interesting to see what they would have done with it now.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Because I wonder if they'll ever touch it again. I mean, they gotta. I could see like Blumhouse getting it, you know, like in a couple of years or something.
And it's a sequel to the original, and no sequels ever happened. So Beware the Blob never happened. It's just a sequel to the original, and they just get the kid that was shooting the cap guns at the damn Blob in the 58 film. They get him back, and it's his story now.
He's been tragically haunted.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be an original idea to like take away all of the sequels and just make a direct sequel decades later?
You know, you might want to quit talking because Hollywood might be listening right now. They might, you know, we don't, you know, you might have to have a lawyer like on call because they're gonna try and take this from you. I just know it.
Do you remember that dumbass kid from the first one? That's like shooting cap guns at it and shit. And whatever. You remember? Oh my god! I saw like an AVGN Cinemasker, I should say, discussion on the Blob films, and they were. I think James said something like, "I think he's the only one left alive."
Yeah.
Not that that's funny, but anyway, I love the original Blob. The 1958 one with Steve McQueen. It's on Criterion Blu-ray. I don't have it. I used to have the Criterion DVD. I got rid of it. I don't have the original. And I remember being a kid and watching the remake, and really, honestly, it kind of scared me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like the deaths in it are pretty freaking gross. Yeah. You know, and the special effects make it. You know, it was riding this wave in the 80s. Of remakes of 50s sci-fi horror, like The Thing, The Fly, right? Yeah. It has special effects up to the level of The Thing and The Fly, but it doesn't have the characters. It doesn't have that certain magic that The Fly and The Thing have to me. But I do still appreciate the film because it takes what was established in the first one, which we could go miles deep on 58 and during the Cold War, what it means for this giant thing to assimilate Americans into one blob where they all are one unit together, and it's red. So it's like the Red Scare literally coming after suburban America, right? In the 80s, it's a little bit different. In the 80s, I like how they twist it, and it's about distrust of the government a little bit because it's not just an alien in that one. or in this one, it's it's a government experiment. So I mean, I just wish that it had better characters. I mean, I like the film. I know that you really like this film, and I know a lot of people really do, and I appreciate it for what it is. And I just don't think I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about any of them except for the sheriff and the main lady at the diner, and they got super quick.
You know, I feel you. I mean, I love this movie, but I mean, I'm not gonna like disagree just because of how much I love it. No matter how much I love something, I can still always see the flaws. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know, either I just accept them or they don't bother me. You know what I mean? And this one, they just never bothered me. As I got older, you kind of notice it because you're just like you're not connecting as much with it. But you know, Kevin Dillon just feels a little goofy. He has like the real long hair. He just doesn't really feel like a badass to me. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, he did.
Yeah. Oh, and he's a cliche too, right? Yeah. Like so, he's just this bad kid. But what did we see that
not
shows
really
us
bad though?
Yeah, but what did we? Yeah, so he drank a beer. He smoked cigarettes and he tried to jump this bridge. He just seems he's. I mean, maybe he is posing. That's one of the parts. Shawnee Smith's character at one point says, "You're just like everybody else in this town. You're full of shit." Right? So,
right.
But the movie feels very like it's attempting to be very Stephen King, small town. That's what the original was. The original was filmed up in Pennsylvania, and it was filmed like with a lot of local help and shit like that. So it gives this very definitive 50s suburban America. White suburban America type vibe, right? And this one doesn't quite nail the vibe of its times. It's trying to feel timeless, I think, at the same time, but I don't know. There's just something about it. Like Steve McQueen is in the original such a much more like intriguing character than Kevin Dillon is in this one with his. Is that a mullet? I think that's a mullet. whatever that is, but it's a lot of hair. My dad had that haircut. But
a lot of guys had that hair back then.
None of the actors here, or at least the ones that are focused on the most, which would be Shawnee Smith and Kevin Dillon, they don't keep my interest. The characters I do care about, they kill, and that's a nice trick. Like they kind of pull a Psycho, where you think this one dude's going to be the main character, the football star, and then his death. And that's another thing is that I don't know how you want to break this up, but like the other thing that does bother me about this film, and I hate that I'm starting with what I hate about the film, but trust me, there's a lot I love.
It's okay.
But another thing I don't like is that the best special effects are in the beginning of the movie, and then it just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't get. I don't know. Like in the beginning of the movie, like you're just like blown away, and then it kind of just gets boring to me at the end of Act 2 and throughout Act 3 for the most part. But that's just me. What do you think, Dylan?
I mean, I get that, bro. As I've watched it more and more over the years, it's like once you get through all those crazy ass kills in the beginning, it kind of like just kind of slows up and kind of, you know, you're trying to like figure out what the hell this blob is and everything, and you get the scientists and everything, and it just you got a lot of I guess what are those shots where they're probably like on small, you know, like small little fucking layouts or whatever, and they're trying to make the blob look big compared to like, you know, people and everything.
Yeah, when they're like filming miniatures, and then they do the they would film that back then. I think it was a blue screen that they would film them in, and they would composite them together, and it's just it's very obvious. They do it in Army of Darkness, you know, which I have no problem there because I'm just like, it looks terrible, but it's supposed to.
For real, but hey, maybe because I mean Kevin Dillon can't replace Steve McQueen. First off, you know what I mean. It's Steve freaking McQueen, you know what I mean? But I like the deputy and the sheriff. Those are two of my favorites. I love the deputy, how he is so hard on Kevin Dillon's nuts. Like, and the guy's not, you know, he's a little shit, obviously, but he's not like a fucking. They make him like he's a criminal. You know what I mean? Like he is the criminal of the town, and he's always like getting arrested. It's like he's probably he's probably just jumping, doing jumps on his bike and fucking around, and just being a little rebellious. He's not like that bad though.
Well, it's something the sheriff even says. At first we're introduced to the idea of him and the sheriff's relationship being that the sheriff is like hunting him down. But I also get the idea that the sheriff actually cares about this kid and understands the kid because he tells him, I hear you're about to turn 18. Just so you know, if you mess up now, it's the big leagues, bro. You're not just going to juvie, right? So he's almost like looking out for him, but he's also aware of him. But he's the one that tells the deputy, and the deputy is one of the henchmen from RoboCop. Right.
Yeah.
But he tells him at that one point, he's like, he's a punk, but he's not a killer. Like he's like, let him go.
True.
Yeah.
I like that when he finally like chills him out. It's like, all right, we're fucking with like they're kind of fucking with him, but it's like we're not taking it that far. Like he's not a killer, he's just a kid, like you said.
Well, I know that you said that you really like this movie. You grew up with this movie. Now, I watched it when I was a kid, but like I never really watched it throughout my teenage years and my 20s. So it never got like re-cemented.
Man, I watched it so much.
Yeah, it never got re-cemented into my repertoire of horror, right? And so I feel like I have a disconnect from the film that the people that continuously watched this growing up. So like tell me your first experiences and like your love of this film. Like what do you love about it so much?
So I probably rented this from a Blockbuster back in the day. I might have caught it on like AMC after dark on a Friday or Saturday night or something like that. And once I saw it, I just was hooked. But I know I rented this from the VHS store plenty of times, and it was one because it doesn't have nudity in it either. And this is one thing, I've always preached to you about, where my mom was really cool at letting me watch a lot of stuff, but she didn't want me really seeing the nudity stuff like that. Like she didn't really want me watching Saw either, but that didn't come out till like teenage years. So that was a little bit more accessible, but she wouldn't have been letting me watch, like, even though Saw has no nudity, she wouldn't have been letting me watch that at like fucking 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like that would have been too much. But this was one where it kind of crossed that boundary of where it was still no nudity, none of that, but the kills were so fucking crazy and over the top that it scared me. You know what I'm saying? It was something that actually kind of got to me, where I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So that's a big part. I mean, just, you always remember, because I feel like I was telling this girl, I'm like, she's like, you don't ever get scared? And I'm like, not really. Like, to be honest, it's like, I'm just numb to it. Like, especially in today's group or in today's day, with all the jump scares, I'm like, I can see them coming from like, I know when they're coming, like I just don't say nothing because I want the other person to get scared. I like that, when they get scared, that makes me like kind of crack up. And, but like, obviously you might catch me on an off day and you might get me, but I usually like can see it coming. I feel like you probably get that, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the time it's the same formula, everything, maybe I'm not that great, but it's just maybe the same formula. It's just sometimes it's a little easy for me. I fucking like study movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're so used to it too, and so it's like when something which would terrify or gross somebody else out on the screen happens, people like us cheer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I know it's all fake. Like I watch behind the scenes. Like I probably a lot of times, like when they're doing effects, I'm like, oh, they probably did this and that, but there's plenty where I'm like, how the fuck do they do that? And that's shit like this in this movie where there's some effects where I'm just like, I'm like, how did they do that? And there's probably somewhere I know how they did it, and I'm like, dude, that's still crazy. Like, how did they do that? You just told me, and I still am wondering how did they do that. I don't know, man. But yeah, I love like the freaking bathroom scene. I'm sure that I know I watched this with my grandpa too. That was another like just a fun one, bro, that we could watch because he was brought up during the Universal Monster Days. Like that's like those were his thing, and he showed those to me. My mom likes Bride of Frankenstein, but I don't think she really gets into all the other ones. So my grandpa was the essential. My dad would have watched like the Wolfman with me, but that's probably it. Maybe Frankenstein, Wolfman, no doubt. But my Jiddu, man, he showed me like all of them. You know what I mean? Dracula, the Mummy, all that stuff. Um, so man, it was like essential, like studying time when he was showing me that, because otherwise I would have never had that like instilled in me. I might have went back over the years and checked it out, but it wouldn't hit as hard as it does, because like I'm not the biggest black and white like fan. Like I fucking love the Twilight Zone, and I can watch that all day and it's black and white. But sometimes, like I'm not just throwing on old school black and white movies all the time. Like the Universal Monster movies, I can anytime, but for some reason I can't always just throw on like the black and white Fly. I can't just, I'll sit down for 20 minutes and then just get up, I don't know. I do love black and white though. But yeah, bro, the Blob is awesome, bro. Like I'm watching this guy about to get pulled through the damn sink as we speak. Well, who plunges a sink? Who plunges a sink?
You can plunge a sink.
I know you can,
that's a heavy duty sink, so you can plunge that thing.
I know.
Usually, maybe they were out of Drano. They're like, let me just unclog this. A plunger can work on a sink like that.
This poor guy, man.
Dude, that's one of the best scenes because they make it very convincing that dude gets pulled through that drain.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It scared me when I was a kid.
The movie's got really scary, gross effects. Like when the football star gets killed, you're just like, holy shit. When you see the blob surround that phone booth and you see the sheriff, like you see him in there, that's fucked up, right? There's a lot of nasty, gnarly bits. It just where it goes uneven for me is I don't care about the characters. Now there are a lot of horror movies where I don't care about the characters, and that's fine. This movie also does things that you don't typically do in films, especially nowadays, but like they grotesquely kill a kid in this film, which I loved. I thought that was like super gnarly, So, and it's got fun little bits. I think it knows what it's doing. I know it knows the movie that it's based on. Now, I became a fan of the Blob because I remember watching it like on TV when I was a kid or something like that, the original, right? And then they released it on Criterion on DVD. And I remember I bought that, and that's when I watched it. I was like, wow, this is actually a better film than one would think for such a low budget, just ridiculous film from the 50s. And so I grew an affection for that. And this one, I love the special effects. I love the kills. I love the bits. The bit where the kids are watching the movie, like Garden Tool Massacre or whatever the hell it is. And the way they cut it, you don't realize that they're watching a movie at first, and you kind of get lost into the illusion. That's a fun little bit. All the theater stuff is it follows the story from the original decently enough, and then it changes it up towards the middle, where it's not just an alien, but it's a government project. And that's a cool reflection on the idea of the 80s versus the 50s and where we were in the zeitgeist of the nation. But I mean, I do like the film. I think it's solid. Like there are plenty of 80s horror films that have shit characters worse than these ones. I don't think they're shit characters in this film. I just think they're cliche, and the most interesting ones get killed off. Like I do not care about this punk rebel kid. I do not care about Shawnee Smith, who goes on to become one of the biggest parts of the Saw franchise, obviously, right? Yeah. And she was in The Stand. She's the 90s Stand.
Right, yeah.
But the characters that I immediately attach to are the sheriff and the server at the diner, and they get got. And then I just don't care about these characters. I'm just waiting for the next
iPhone.
God damn, Dylan. I'm just waiting for the next kill. And the kills don't happen ferociously fast enough for me then, if that's the only thing I really like. And the kills start off really strong, and they do get slightly weaker, I feel. Like the best kills are in the beginning. But that being said, I
my
do
God,
like
the
the
phone
film.
booth. The phone booth kill
Yeah.
with the sheriff too, where the girl pulls out and just sees. Oh man, it's so good. And then it's like, I love the color of the blob, like the purple pinkish. It looks so good, man.
You know why the blob is purple pink?
Why?
It's something from the original film that James Rolfe did a documentary called Blob Town. It's about Blob Fest. That colonial theater still exists, and every year they do Blob Fest, where they play the movie, and then everybody reenacts a scene where they run out of the theater in a panic, right?
Really?
And so the reason, and Tom Savini was explaining to James Rolfe that the reason why the blob, because if you notice, the blob is a different color at first, and
Right.
it turns that color. It's because it's absorbing all this ooze that it's getting when it like corrosively like absorbs these people, right? And so the blob starts becoming that color because of all the blood and guts that it's been. So that's actually pretty fucked up when you think about it, right?
Oh yeah. That is fun. Oh my God. That's good though. That's putting in some work for it. I forgot it. I didn't know it. I thought it used to be black and white, but didn't they colorize it?
The
Or
first
am I
fly
wrong
is
about that?
the first fly is in color.
It's always been color.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've only seen scenes. I've only seen like the big scenes. You know, I've never seen the whole movie.
You got the box set, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to do it. We can totally get John on if you want to do the fly. You can totally get John on. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. And one day I'd like to. What up, Nick? But yeah, I mean, you get some early CGI moments in this too, bro. I mean, there's a couple CGI moments, I guarantee.
I don't think so. What are the CGI moments? What are
I
you
don't
talking
know.
about?
I just saw a part and it looked like it might have been CGI.
Nah, that's not for this movie in '88.
You don't think it?
I don't think so. And everything's so set up. It's so like so the kid's zipper doesn't work.
It's probably the miniatures. Then it's the miniatures.
It's miniatures, and they're doing the composite shots. But like, okay, I'm everything's set up, and that's kind of cool. So like, Kevin Dillon's trying to jump the bridge in the beginning, and then he has to jump the bridge towards the end of the film. The kid's zipper gets stuck, and then of course that is a bit in the film that slows them down when they're trying to escape the blob from the theater.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, first of all, this movie, I don't think we've mentioned this at all yet, but it's written by Frank Darabont.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Chuck Russell. And directed by Chuck Russell. That's the exact same writing team and the director of Dream Warriors, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Frank Darabont, of course, went on to do great stuff like The Mist, Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, the first season of Walking Dead, like
all like the best, some of the best Stephen King shit he did.
This movie gives you a Stephen King vibe, doesn't it? Like
there's
a lot of.
It's funny. I didn't say that, but when I was a kid, I always thought this was a Stephen King like movie for some reason. I always thought that.
It's focused on that small town. It's got all these interesting characters. The problem is, unlike a Stephen King story, those characters don't get developed.
Yeah.
You know, they just kind of are fodder, and they're meant to be red herrings. Like, oh, this guy's an interesting character. Oh, he just got killed. Oh, she's an interesting character. Oh, she just got killed. And then you're left with, I mean, I like Shawnee Smith as much as the next horror fan, but I don't care about her character. Now, Art LaFleur as her father, that's a great character. That's a funny bit in the movie where he like pulls down his paper and it's the kid whose friend was buying condoms and he's like ribbed. Like that's a funny bit. Like, so that's fun.
I love that too. It's like my friend's such an idiot, man. I'm trying to tell him to, strap up. He's like, what is he, a dog or something? I forgot, like the dad just calls him like a dirty mutt or whatever,
He says he doesn't need rubbers, he needs a muzzle.
Yeah, that boy needs a muzzle. Oh my God. I love that scene. Yeah, there's a little comedy here and there. I think somebody could do some good with this, man. Like, they can either ruin it on a remake, they could totally ruin it. I could just see it, or they could do something really fun with it. Make it really scary, but have a couple comedic jokes here and there, like a couple, like not where it turns into like a black comedy,
If they did it today, I feel like they would put so much extra baggage into the story. There would be like a divorcee who has given up on the world. There would be you know what I'm saying? There would be all these there would be all these bits like that I don't think it would work, and they would add so many layers. So they already added so originally it's just an alien.
Right.
And then in this one, it's a government experiment. Yeah. What would it be in the next one? It would be like this warring race of people. We would like open up on the planet of the blobs because they'd be trying to set up a sequel. All the blobs have a different color, and they would be like fighting each other, and one escapes and lands on Earth. And you know what I'm saying? They'd be trying to set up a goddamn franchise and shit.
Oh my God. No doubt. We fucked with them, and now they're fucking with us.
Yeah, they would make the blob seem like he's misunderstood. He's actually the hero of the blob world, and blah blah blah. And it would be like Blob Chapter 1. Earth, we have a problem. I don't know what to call it, but it's be some
the Blob 3. This shit ain't over yet.
Yeah, smother me in love. Now they could make a good blob film now. Inherently, and the thing is, there are a lot of blob type films. We were talking about The Stuff. I
love that movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has a blob type scene in it. There's a lot of this.
Slither, bro.
Slither. It's another James Gunn thing, right? So
speaking of that, I didn't get to finish it. I gotta watch the second half of it. Did you watch Suicide Squad?
I did.
I only watched half of it, man. I keep having no time, bro. It's pissing me off.
You got to make time, brother. Me and Strick went yesterday and watched it in the theater.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. I need to watch it again. I need to watch it again.
You didn't like it?
I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I was anticipating liking it, so I got to watch it again.
I was kind of feeling that way too. I thought it was really good, but some of the scenes were shot in a unique way, and really a lot of quick shots and edits, and I was.
But it's also kind of slowly paced. I don't think it's as punchy as some of other And when we were leaving the theater, Jay Strick was like, you can't expect too much out of it. I was like, I can actually, because I love Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2,
right?
And I love Slither. So I'm like, and he's like, well, this is the guy that wrote. And Jay Strick was like, this is the guy that wrote Scooby Doo. And I was like, have you seen Slither? And then he finally admitted to me that he's never seen Slither.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Dude, that movie's so awesome, bro. One of the best 2000, early 2000 horror movies.
Yeah, but Suicide Squad is a movie that a lot of people are going to like. So that's cool.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm glad that DC
seems good, man. It seems good.
I need to rewatch it because I had too much anticipation. I was expecting to be blown the fuck away by this movie.
That's how, man. There's a couple scenes that I just didn't. I'm like, what are we doing here? Just seemed a little pointless. I don't know, but I look for. I need to just. I don't know if I'm gonna just finish halfway where I was at and then watch the rest. I might have to, but I'm gonna be watching this movie a couple times because anything James Gunn, I'm dissecting, bro. Because I love the man's work, and it's cool, man. There's some cool kills in there. I was like, holy shit, bro. This is R-rated, But I feel like he could have done it. I felt like he could have went a little bit harder with the R. Really earned it.
I think they went too hard with the R. I think
they did.
Yeah, well, no, I don't mind the violence, but I think that there was I don't know. At times it almost feels juvenile, but the basic thing is this. I think the movie could be tightened. The movie's 2 hours and 12 minutes or something.
Yeah.
The movie could be tightened. Literally, I think 12 to 15, 20 minutes cut out of this movie.
Yeah,
I think it's a punchier film.
Yeah, I feel like if it was going straight to theaters, it might have been 1 hour 45. They might have made them cut it. But I feel like because of now everything's going to streaming nowadays, they're being like less dramatic on, oh, it has to be like 2 hours. You know, like before they were really set at horror movies only an hour and a half, you know, 2 hours. Like nobody wants to sit in a movie theater for more than 2 hours. Like, so nobody, you know, hour 45 and stuff. Now, bro, like with Endgame, 3 hours, you know, they're letting movies come out a little bit longer nowadays.
Every movie needs to be as long as it needs to be.
Exactly.
And Suicide Squad just didn't need to be that long. That's the thing, though, is like I don't mind a long movie if it doesn't feel long. This movie, like all of its bits, which were very funny and good bits, but they all felt a little too long. And what it feels like to me is that DC was at a point where they're like, we don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. James Gunn was like, I'm interested in doing something. So they're like, oh shit. And so I think there were less people telling James Gunn no on this movie than any other production that he's done. And I think that's what took it from a really solid, like I still think it's a must watch. It's one of the best DC movies they've done in recent years. Yeah. I personally expected more. That's why I need to rewatch it, because I was really, really hyped for this film. I was really hyped on James Gunn, and I just feel like less people were saying no to him. And there's some things that could have been tightened up, not cut out necessarily, but tightened up. Sometimes it felt like an SNL skit that was going on too long, like where you're like, we get the bit, don't run it into the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, after this, I gotta check that out, man. No doubt.
But back to the Blob.
Yes, sir. So, what do you think about, you like the way this movie was shot, like the cinematography and everything, the music? What did you think about that?
The music's generic. The music's okay. I think
it's not the greatest. It
not.
Could be better. It could be so much better.
Especially being sci-fi horror in the 80s. It starts off, excuse me. Oh, it starts off with the space scenes, and you feel like you're about to get this like really synth heavy kind of score. That's what it should have had for me. If this was a more synth heavy score and a little bit more like, but it lost that quickly and just went into like your typical blank, 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 like that kind of action movie kind of score. The cinematography is amazing. The sets are amazing. I don't know. They filmed this in Louisiana. The little small town looks great. I buy it. It works. It just doesn't feel 80s. It feels like trapped in time. It feels like it's like the original movie is definitely like a snapshot of 58. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this one doesn't feel like a snapshot of 88 because it feels like it's got all these different bits kind of thrown in a little bit, and timeless things like that can work. And so it works for enough for me in this, but there's elements of it that throws it off, but the special effects are amazing for the most part. The cinematography, the way it's lit, the way it's shot, for the most part, I think it's really good. I just think that this movie never committed to one bit or the other. Do you want to make a movie that's a maybe, it almost feels like they're trying to make a movie that's a little bit maybe like family friendly, but still edgy. But they're also trying to make like a gnarly horror film, and they don't bridge that balance so much for me. It's almost like Kevin Dillon in the beginning of the film. He doesn't quite get over the bridge, and it's still an entertaining fall, but to me, it still just doesn't quite do what I think it's trying to do. And the government agent stuff, like that's interesting and all that stuff that the government's doing it, and but it's an unnecessary twist. Yeah, just for the sake of being twisty. And the beautiful thing about remaking The Thing and The Fly and The Blob in the 80s is that most of the kids in the 80s that were going to go watch these films hadn't seen those originals. So you don't have to worry about if they already know what's about to happen. But I do also appreciate that it was trying to subvert some expectations at times. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I always like that as a kid, the little twist, but it doesn't really do much nowadays. I don't know.
It's because it literally comes and goes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like it is.
It's just there to pad the movie for another 15 minutes for me.
Yeah. And then have like the Blob kill all the scientists, and then you're like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? But Bubble Bath and Beyond. I love that name. But yeah, I love the movie theater scene. Just obviously classic. Can't like not talk about that. That's when he kills the little kids.
Yeah.
You know,
When they're running away in the sewer, and dude, the kid gets
he
got.
first sucks the one up. I thought, unless that's grown up.
Well, the kid, it's a grown up because the kid dies in the sewer because he gets taken under the water and he comes back up and he's like melting. And that's the coolest thing is that in the original you just saw like the blob kind of take over people, but like in this one you like see that it's like dissolving their flesh. And when Shawnee Smith's character is trying to pull the dude that she's dating out and she like rips his fucking arm off. And then if you really, another thing that bothers me about this film, okay, so if you pay attention to the timeline, she is in the beginning of the film, they mentioned she's dating somebody else.
Yeah.
She agrees to go out with this like star wide receiver, right? He dies. Yeah. And then she's like fucking eating pie and sharing googly eyes with fucking Kevin Dillon, like all in the space of one day, bruh. Like, just saying.
Hey, to be 17,
Station.
Nothing but options. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but options. She's so like you could just tell she's like so stuck up at first too, and then you're just like you're really getting around there, aren't you, girl?
Well, it's not quite like that, but it's just like
I know.
They do force in this romantic thing between her and him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, come on, y'all. Like, literally, the dude that she was just about to leave her boyfriend for, like, got killed in the most horrifying way possible right before her eyes. Man, like, Jesus.
I know. Just a little too forced.
Yeah,
that's
but
another thing I'm not really big on.
Speaking of force, what about old homie's friend, basically with his date rape trunk? Like, are you fucking?
Oh my
serious?
god, I hate that guy. I love it. I love when he gets killed, bro. I love it.
Do you know who that girl is in the seat next to him?
No, but she's hot as fuck.
She's in Baywatch, man. She's one of the ladies. Yeah, she's one of the ladies in Baywatch. I don't remember her name. I think it's Erica something, but yeah, she's in Baywatch.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a hot. I love that. I hate that. I hate seeing that though. I'm like, oh, bro, you're about to get yours every time.
This dude's gross. He's got all those like class rings, and he's got his like his liquor and his Banaka spray and all that shit.
Just Jesus. A total creep, bro. Total
creep, man.
Oh my god, that's really like, every time like I just see him and he's like, fuck it.
He deserved to get got. She did not.
He really did. Yeah, though, there's some good effects though in this, man. The face half melted off when she like lifts that girl up off like the floor in the movie theater. I love some of the effects in this.
It's great. It's like you stepped in gum,
Yeah.
And you pull it. Yeah.
The blob just looks so good. The kills are great. I mean, none of the kills are bad. I get what you mean, how they kind of like some are so crazy in the beginning and they kind of tone down, but none of them I would say are like bad, but they just don't like kind of over exceed each kill. Like where you get one dope ass kill, you want it to keep getting, each kill to be better and better, or maybe have like a decent one and then another awesome one, but
you can't have your money shot in the first act. You gotta you gotta wait to blow your load. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's why they call it the money shot.
Exactly.
You don't blow it in the first load unless you're willing to go second, unless you're trying to go.
That would make a very, very unentertaining adult film.
Yeah. That it would. What up, Bobby? Oh, and thank you, Mike, for the awesome thumbnail too, brother.
Oh, this is one of the best ones he's done in a while. I love this one. It looks great.
I love it. Yeah, it was that or like this picture, but I go, I had to go the OG route. I love it. But yeah, I highly recommend anyone who doesn't own the Blob to check out this Scream Factory release. If you're a big fan of it, it is the essential way to watch it. I don't think this ever got a Blu-ray release until Scream Factory, to be completely honest with you. I don't think it ever got a Blu-ray release.
I don't know if it did here, but it did overseas, but maybe not in the States.
Yeah. Probably overseas. They get a lot overseas, like does it fucking better than us. Thank God for Scream Factory, bro, and like Arrow and shit. But there's a good ass audio commentary with the director Chuck Russell, the cinematographer Mark Irwin, special effects Tony Gardner, which I forgot Tony Gardner did some effects on this. He also did effects on Return of the Living Dead, Chucky. You know, dude, look up Tony Gardner. So much, bro. He's an icon in the industry. But it's the audio commentary I was telling you is moderated by Joe Lynch, the co-star of Holliston to Adam Green. You know, so that's dude, like I love that, man. It's a great audio commentary. I watched it when I first got it, but I gotta rewatch it. It's got some good effect. It's got some good behind the scenes though. It has 2 audio commentaries, one with the people I just said, and then another with Shawnee Smith. She did her own audio commentary, and that's brand new. That was brand new for this. Interviews with Chuck Russell and Craig Stearns, and special effects Chris Gilman, actor Ricky Pauly, Bill Moseley. Oh yeah, Bill Moseley's in this too. Bill Moseley gets got real quick. He's one of the scientists. Did you notice that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Bill Moseley's in this.
Well, here's one. The guy who does here's one. The guy that does the voice of Lord Zed in the Power Rangers show is one of the government like scientist guys too. That gets got. Yeah, sick. He's the one that's like, we're not really going to kill all these people, are we?
Yeah.
That guy is the voice of Lord Zed. He passed away a few years ago, but
wow.
Yeah, that's a cool little weird stretch in the film, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
We got people from Power Rangers, people from Baywatch, people from Entourage, people from
Texas
Saw,
Chainsaw Massacre.
Chainsaw Massacre. We got people from Eraserhead. The Doctor is the guy from Eraserhead, which is also the guy from Twin Peaks. The guy who like the Doctor, who's like, oh Jesus.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, that's Eraserhead, man.
No way. Do you remember the kill where the scientist like it's kind of like going up to Kevin Dillon, kind of like grabbing him, and then like it kind of bursts into his mask, the blob?
Oh yeah,
that's Bill Moseley.
Really?
Go back, yeah. When you go back, you'll see it. But that's he's only in it for like, you know what I'm saying? He probably filmed for like a day or two.
It's just like a bit part, right?
Yeah, kind of like Army of Darkness. You know what I mean? Where he was like just getting in horror movies, but he wasn't like having like a big part. So he's in Army of Darkness too, but he plays a Deadite.
I didn't know that either. That's cool.
I haven't watched that documentary, but dude, you gotta go check out the Hail. What is it? Hail All Deadites, or it's that new Evil Dead documentary. I want to watch it so bad. I told you about that last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blob looks so gross, no doubt, bro. I love the practical effects Fable so much. Check out the song from the original Blob movie. It's catchy and cool. I'll check that out.
You talking about the opening song? Is that the opening song? The opening song of the original Blob is like this really like poppy ass like little shindig. It's so great.
Really? I'm guessing that's probably what it is. Funny they put an isolated score on here. Score's not that good, so
it's really not.
I have to listen to it again.
I think the score could be way better. There are elements of it that could have worked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This week for my movie reviews, the music just didn't do much for me, whether it was the Blob or Face Off. So
yeah, I hear you. What else is there anything you want to go into on this? Maybe who your favorite? You said basically the sheriff was like your favorite character.
The sheriff and the server at the diner are my favorites, but they get got so quick, and I never cared about Shawnee Smith or Kevin Dillon's characters. Never cared.
I'll give Shawnee Smith some love because she is a little quirky and goofy, but
she can't be. I don't get it. And what a weird stretch with the preacher.
Yeah,
where the preacher like saves a bit of the Blob so that he can bring on God's prophecy or something.
I always thought that was they were gonna do a sequel or something.
Well, I'm sure they wanted to.
Yeah, that was so weird though. I always thought, It's weird though. It's like produced all those diamonds or whatever, man, or rue. What the fuck are those? Those crystals.
It's the crystalline structure of it, right? So
Yeah.
that makes sense. And in the original movie, they had to. In the original movie, so it's about this town and they're all fractured, right? So nobody in this town gets along. They really focus on that. They focus about how we all have to come together as a community to fight the Red Scare, the Red Menace.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's Cold War propaganda, right? But it works, and it's the idea of the community, and we got to get together because at the end of the original film, they all get together with their fire extinguishers, and they all have to mob up and attack the blob. And this one, they blow up a snowmaker, right, which causes it to snow at the end. And then, like, one of only two black dudes that's in the movie is the guy that runs the garage, and that's another thing that's set up. Like, he's fixing the snowmaker just so that we can use it at the end. And he tells me, he's like, "I told you it was going to snow." That's see. This movie has so much potential, and I get that people really like this film, and I understand why they do. But for me, what I see is wasted potential. I see this movie could have been something to be up on the level of The Fly and The Blob. I mean, and The Thing. But it just, to me, it's like these are the three that are always talked about, right? Remakes of the 80s from 50s sci-fi horror.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And this is by far the weakest, like by far. Like, it doesn't have any of the nuance that the other films have, or to me, even the nuance that the original has. It's just got cliche characters. It has the potential of building up the Stephen King type world, but it just doesn't focus on the character. And the thing was, teenagers went to watch this movie, so let's focus on the teenagers, but they were the least interesting parts of this film to me. But overall, great gore. I mean, great gore. Like, it's just some of the best, gnarliest, grossest, death melty scenes you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the rest of the movie, it's hard to give a shit about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I love it so much, but I can see some of the characters just, they haven't aged so well with me over the years, but I still love it, I just it's just the practical effects, man. They make it for me. And it's the nostalgia, it did something for me at the right age, and I still like it. I don't hate none of the characters. I get what you mean though about the it's not as good as it was. The Fly, and what was the other?
The Thing.
The Thing. Yeah, it's not as good as those two, but it's still a damn good movie. It's still a damn good sci-fi horror movie in my opinion, and I always have fun with it. It's one that I feel like I can have a little bit more fun with. While The Fly is just a freaking fantastic movie all around, and the Thing is, but this one I feel like I can just have a little bit more fun with. It has a little bit more of that creep factor. I feel like, oh, here it is, the Bill Moseley part.
Yeah, that is him.
I told you, son. But yeah, man, I always have a good time with it, man. I like Shawnee Smith, especially from the Saw stuff. I like her better than Kevin Dillon, I guess. I don't hate Kevin Dillon because I always liked him in, my boy Bobby D said it, Entourage, So I always thought he was funny in that. I mean, Kevin Dillon's not bad. I just don't really buy him as this bad biker guy, especially with that horrible. That's gotta be a wig, man, because that hair is terrible.
I bet it was all him, man.
It might have been. And then you got the black scientist who's like, just, like going World War II on them. Like, no, like we're, locking the town up, and then we're about to kill the kid and the blob, together. Or no, what are they? They leave the,
he tells them not to kill the blob.
They freaking leave Kevin Dillon and Shawnee down there to die.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I don't get it.
That's one of the that's one of the differences between this and the 50s is that in the 50s it's all about, you know, we're Americans against this outer threat. In this one, and it's just like you can see it in things like Day of the Dead. It's about this. In the 80s, more people were starting to mistrust the government and not think that they had their best intentions, or not thinking that they were telling them everything that maybe they needed to know. How are y'all doing out there? Talking about the Blob 1988. What do you think about it? What do you think about the Blob?
Yeah, I love the Blob, bro. Terror has no shape, but you know, it has a little goofy ending, I guess, but it started like 3/4 of the movie is great, and then it just kind of ends a little weakly, you know. I don't know.
You can like this movie, Dylan. A lot of people like this movie. It's a fun movie. It's got great.
It really is a fun movie. I mean, dude, you got Frank Darabont on the script, and
yeah, I'm just saying, if I would have watched this movie, like if this was a staple in my experience throughout the 90s and 2000s, I would have loved this movie just as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
I watched it a little bit later on, and then I'm revisiting it for the first time in a long time, and so I was just picking apart some of those things because it just wasn't as thrilling. I mean, we watch a lot of movies that are really freaking fun. They're roller coaster rides. This one just doesn't. It's like I feel like I'm waiting for the next, you know, loop. You know, it's like a roller coaster. It goes, wow, wow.
Yeah.
But that's just me, man. So don't feel bad, bro. Don't change your opinion because of what I said, Dylan.
Oh, no, I don't. I mean, I can agree with certain things, but I still am always going to love it, you know? I love this movie so much.
I warned you how I thought about this film already before we agreed to do it, so.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Kevin Dillon has the same haircut my father and my mother had in 1988, so.
Oh, my God.
All right, the same haircut that Adrienne Barbeau had in Creepshow last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into the rating?
I'm good.
Anyone in the comments, if you've seen 1988, The Blobs, or you could even put what you're rating for the original compared to the 1988, just throw your rating down below. You know, let's see who likes the remake better than the original. I go original, or I go remake all day. I know Robbie's going to go original, but what do you want to give it out of 5 slips, my brother?
I'll give it 3.
3? 3's not bad.
3's it's not a bad film. It's not terrible. It's not exceptionally good, but it's got moments I really like. It's got moments I really don't. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me, but it is a movie that I will enjoy revisiting. And I think the more I revisit this film in the right circumstance, especially like if I got some, you know, some friends over and we're like maybe making some pizza and having some drinks or something, this is a good movie to kind of throw on because you can kind of talk when all the other people are talking. You won't fucking miss shit. It's just the great gore, great special effects, okay music, okay performances, but subpar characterizations, a lot of wasted potential, but I still think it's a solid film for what it is. I think The Blob would be a hard movie to try to adapt for a modern audience, even in 88 as opposed to today. But like, that's a difficult movie to try to remake and make exciting. I think that overall, Russell and Darabont did an okay job. The job was done, and it's got a lot of stuff in it that makes it stand the test of time. And then some things that just kind of fall to the side. So I'll give it 3 out of 5.
Definitely. I can't stand when they're literally just like the guy takes his mask off and they're just shooting bullets at it, and then they throw like one little bomb down there, and they're like, "We're safe now, y'all."
Yeah,
like,
don't worry, America's got it.
Yeah, the scientists got it. The guys that created this, they got it.
And it rips through the fucking street.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. This guy's just like, we did it. Like, dumb. This one, man, like, I'm like in between a 3, 5, and 4, to be honest. Like, because I'm trying to be like realistic when I rate stuff, even though how much I love shit. I'm gonna give it a 4 though on nostalgia. Because I try to think about what I rated other movies to, and I'm like, is that like, can I really say that's as good as that movie? But it's like I would probably give it like a 3.8 or something, to be honest. But we don't do that, so I'm giving it 4 slips. I got so much love for this movie, man. I grew up with it. It was one of the few movies that like weirded me out, with some of those effects when they're just like the bodies are just like decomposing inside the blob and just look so creepy. I just love it, man. I love the cinematography on it. I love the way the blob looks, the pinkish purple. Um, it just looks incredible, and it just always resonated with me as a kid, man. I just always, like this and The Thing, like you said, bro, like this and The Thing were two of my all-time favorites. Like I was renting this like crazy from the VHS store, like, and the Thing was another that I watched with my grandpa. So that, that was just, these were cool movies that, really could kind of creep you out, and just be awesome, just a fucking fun time, and I love that about horror movies, just snack on some popcorn or some a little bit of food and chill back and just have fun with the movie, like that's just what I love, man. And that this is one of those movies where you just, you can laugh at some of the absurdity. You're like, what the fuck that is, but you still have fun with it at the end of the day and be like, that is creepy or that is gross. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, they fucking killed the kid,
I like that they killed the kid.
Yeah.
And for comparison's sake, I would probably rate the original like a 4 for you, Diggs.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I think I like the original just slightly better because I think the characters are more engaging to me for some reason, even though they're just as cliche and typical. It feels more of its time than this one does.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I feel it. Yeah, I can get that. It's been so long since I've seen that one. I don't even want to like say.
I've seen that one way more. Like this is probably the third time I've seen this one, but I've seen the original probably like 10. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I love the original
once, maybe twice.
Do you know that they still have the original Blob, like in a bucket, like the actual gelatinous whatever the fuck it was that they used to film all those scenes? They still actually have that, and every year, when in Pennsylvania where they do the Blob Fest or whatever the hell it is, people go and take their pictures with this fucking glob of shit that's in a bucket.
No way.
Yes.
From the 80s. Is it the original or
no? The one
88?
from the 50s. The one from the 50s.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god. That's fucking wild, bro. Holy crap.
But you think about a lot of the classic horror movies, there aren't like relics that last. There's some things here and there. There's like one Frankenstein mask. There's like a creature suit, but a lot of that stuff's gone. So to be able to go and be like, this is the actual slime jello shit that they use, and the fact that it's still together and there and whatnot. So interesting.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing is that in the 88 Blob, in order to get the color right, the color that you love so much, that purplish pink, right?
Yeah.
They use the same ingredients that Burger King uses or used in the 80s in particular for their strawberry milkshake.
Really?
They use the same like coloring and shit like that. Yeah.
That's something, bro. That's something.
So don't drink Burger King strawberry shakes. It just might be the stuff.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I don't do that. I just drink peanut butter shakes from Five Guys. That's where it's at, bro. That's where it's at.
Sounds delicious.
It is, bro. It really is. So you want to do show and tell? I kind of have a shitty show and tell, but
yeah, I got some stuff I brought so I can show.
Give me 1 second. Let me grab my stuff. I'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Dylan's going to go get his stuff for show and tell. I got my stuff right there. I got some action figures and some movies to show off tonight. So I'm excited. I guess I'm just going to wait on Dylan to get here, but we want to know what y'all thought about the Blob out of 5 possible slips. What do you give the Blob from 1988? Hell, what do you give the original? Compare it. Throw it out there. We'd be very interested to know what y'all think about the Blob. What do you think about Kevin Dillon's career? Johnny Drama is what I always know him for. Earlier this week, Jay Strick was talking to me. He goes, isn't that the one with Matt Dillon? I goes, no, it's not Matt Dillon. He goes, that guy looks like Matt Dillon. I was like, it's not Matt Dillon. It's Kevin Dillon. He goes, is it his brother? I was like, I'm pretty sure it's his brother. The Dillons were the wannabe Baldwins and that time during that era. So that's always exciting to see a Dillon brother here on Dillon's Horror Show. You know, maybe one day we'll do Wild Things, which has Matt Dillon. Is that a horror film? I don't know. Probably not. Definitely a thriller in some way or another. I'm just rambling. I'm just waiting on Dillon to come back. I would respond to chats, but
what do you got, brother?
There he is. Oh, am I supposed to go?
Yeah, go ahead. I had to let my dog out.
I'm just rambling. All right, so first of all, I completed my Skeletor. So I got the Havoc staff and I got the skirt. So
nice.
Yeah, I didn't have those things before, so Mike hooked me up and I got them. So Skeletor's complete, so that's nice.
Hell yeah.
I opened this one up last Sunday, but there's my Spawn. This is from Series 1, but that's the shoelace variant head where he doesn't have the mask on, and he's got the shoelace because you remember Batman threw a batarang in his face. So that's cool. Spawn.
That's cool.
Just got this week. This was a gift from Mike. Got the original clown figure.
Oh, sick, bro. You're becoming a big Spawn fan, huh?
Yes. I had already had Clown 2, which I love. But now I have the first one. I like this one better. Yeah. But this is a fun figure because it's also a flip head. So let's do it. Oh, he's becoming the Violator, baby. Look at that.
Oh, snap.
Nice, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's super cool. So I like that. And speaking of Spawn, speaking of Mike, I am collecting VHSs up for a new set here at PCP. We are taking donations, and a lot of people have donated VHSs. Mike has donated a few. We're really looking for horror stuff, but we've gotten a lot of bangers and cool stuff. So speaking of Spawn, this is what I got. Look at that. Spawn on VHS.
I had that growing up.
There is episode 2 of Cowboy Bebop. And there's episode 3 on VHS. What's crazy is that, like, when you think about it, and I remember this, like friends of mine that were into anime, they spent so much money collecting this shit on VHS because it would just be like 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
Per fucking. And this one, no, it's actually, this one's got 2 episodes. Okay, so this is episodes 1 and 2, and this is 3 and 4. So it's the first 4 episodes, but it's cool to have. Those aren't not necessarily horror related, but this one is a little bit. There's the Crow on VHS.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I love that. I love the Crow. That's like horror related.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's a cool one to have. But here's what I'm really pumped. Mike gave me some banger VHS. I showed some off last night. I showed a few off today. Look at that one, bro.
Nice. Oh, dude. I don't know where mine is. I have Army of Darkness, but it's not that cover, bro.
So now I got Army of Darkness and I've got Evil Dead 2. So now I just need an Evil Dead, but I am taking VHS donations. If you have VHS or know somebody that does, if you just want to,
dude, I want that cover, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's the one. That's the movie poster.
I know.
This is kind of horror related, but I got my. Oh, nice.
But
I got my Ecto 1. I got the Kenner Classic Ecto 1.
Yeah.
Haven't opened it up yet, but this is the.
Is that new or is that the old one?
This is a remake. It's a remake of the old one. This just released. So I got it. I got the Kenner Classic still on card. I'm going to open them up during Horror Fest. I'm going to open this baby up. And then one day, soon, hopefully we're going to do a crowdfunding thing that we do on Rock and Robbie Live. We're going to get a Ghostbusters Firehouse, baby. And,
Oh, wow.
And then, I mean, I want that on my set to have the Firehouse, have the Ecto one, and the figures, like, super dope. So, yeah, that's what I brought. That's what I got. So, yeah, and if you guys have, like, horror movies on VHS, or if you know a good place to get them cheaply, please let me know.
Yeah. If you got a copy of that Army of Darkness, though, send that my way. I need Army. I don't even collect them. I only honestly if I don't think I'll ever get rid of these. Maybe like a couple. But since you pull those out, I don't really have shit to show off. I'm gonna show. This is the only Blu-ray I got, my guy. I ordered this a while back because it was like $12. Shout Select, California. Cool little Brad Pitt movie where he's a freaking serial killer, like hillbilly serial killer. But it's a good movie. It's not the best, but it's fun. Also, speaking of Army of Darkness, I got this shirt. My bad. Let me see if I can get my lights.
I just want to point out, because I asked some people in the chat, because we had some people that rated the Blob, and Dylan usually goes over it, but Bobby said 4.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, Bobby. I don't know if you remember.
They were farther down.
Yeah, I know. Bobby said 4 for both. Fable said 3.5 for 88. Sam said 4 for 88. Mike said 3.5 because of Johnny Drama. That's Kevin Dillon. And then I asked them what they thought about the.
I did go
both.
through. I thought I went.
Well, you didn't mention it. I just want to mention it. Like Fable. I mean, it seems like most people like the original a little bit better, which a lot of people like the remake better. Oh, and one more show and tell thing I have, man. This new shirt.
The Gold Room. What is that?
The Gold Room at the Overlook Hotel, buddy.
Oh, okay. Nice. I couldn't see. I was trying to look underneath.
The Shining, man.
So that's the shirt, though, that I got this week.
Nice. I like that.
You see my Friday the 13th one?
Bro, those are great.
Yeah, I got a couple cool ones. Because sometimes, man, the pictures are like too small, but that Army of Darkness is perfect, bro. It came with like a little sticker with it, so I'm gonna throw that somewhere. This is one sticker, and then this is a second sticker. Then I was showing the Blob, just from the review. Awesome freaking Scream Factory. So let's see. Oh, make it big. So the Army of Darkness VHS. I love that one you got. I don't know why they had two different ones. I don't know. This is an Anchor Bay. This actually has some THX certified original ending and theatrical trailer. So I don't know, maybe. But
it's got the original ending. I think I had that one too. I even had the Bruce Campbell versus the oh, bruh.
When my grandpa died, yeah, these were the ones I watched with my jiddu growing up. So those are the
ones I used to rent from my library. I want that set. So they put them in a box set at one point. I want them so collection. Bad. Yeah,
I remember that, and they all kind of have this scent. They all have the that banner and everything. You know,
the same trade dress. And then I remember having a clamshell of Dracula. That was the first time they released it with the Philip Glass score.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that one too.
Yeah, I'm glad though I have this one because I love this. I love the iconic cover. Let's see. Includes a theatrical trailer. Like these, I just had I want to kind of display these, especially once the freaking figures come out, the Universal figures. I love this, dude. I always love this cover so much.
That's one of my favorite covers. One of my favorite posters from the 40s.
I wonder if these are worth any money now, dude. These are in really good condition, bro. These are dude, honestly, you'd look at them and they're brand new. I mean, they have a little wear and tear, but dude, these are what I would see, man. When I was little, I'd look at this cover, man. I'd be like, let's watch that, Grandpa. You know what I mean? Dude, these were, I love these, bro. That's a big reason why I kept them, bro. Is not even just because how cool they looked. It's just legit. This VHS, bro. The memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit.
There's attachments to that damn, like, and especially this one, bro. The
Nice.
Wolf, man. You know, I talk about how much we watch this one, so.
VHS horror is the rage right now, bruh.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Nah, it's like some are worth a couple bucks. I guess this is from the classic collection as well. Frankenstein meets the Wolf, man.
Nice.
I had to get that. Classic collection as well. The House of Frankenstein.
Beautiful. Glenn Strange, man.
Yeah, that's a good one to have, no doubt. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Beautiful. I love that fucking movie, man. That's
Dude,
one of my favorites.
Oh my god. So I love
it's
that.
Better than so many of the sequels to those movies.
It's so good. It's I want that Abbott and Costello collection so bad. It's just I can't bring myself to spend like that much, you know, for like 2 movies. I feel like that I'm gonna watch a lot, and the other, I mean, I'd go through and watch them all, of course, but it's like how many am I gonna like adore? You know what I mean?
That's why you got to get it on the Scream or the Shout Factory sale, and it's super cheap.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it when they did the sale this last summer, but I didn't.
Peter Cushing's The Revenge of Frankenstein. So is this a Hammer?
Yeah, that's the Hammer. That's the Hammer film one.
I'm actually surprised my Jiddu had this. I wonder.
It's awesome as shit, bro.
Yeah, this one's cool. I love the cover. I forgot I had that one. So I was looking and I was like, which Frankenstein is that? This, bro, I gotta have.
Nice.
I wonder, this sucker probably goes for a couple bucks, I wonder. Who knows?
All the horror stuff is up there now, man. At least $10 or more. And
bro,
for if you want to start getting like hard to find stuff, like Apex says the Hammer films are hard to find. I looked up Suspiria. So like I'll just buy Suspiria. Bro, Suspiria was like $80 to $100 on VHS.
Really? Holy shit. This I just grabbed because I thought like it was at his house, and I thought maybe it's like obscure true tales of America's haunted houses. It's probably nothing, but I just thought, you know, shit like this you might not really be able to get no more. So
that's cool. That's cool.
I was like, it might be a cool little horror like show. I don't know. I do have a call. I have like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 1 and 2. I think I have them right here. Actually. Yeah, I do have them, but let's see. Oh yeah, this one's beat up though.
That's an interesting cover.
I know, isn't it?
I actually like that cover a lot.
Yeah, it includes exclusive behind-the-scenes Scream featurette. This one's beat up though.
I remember back in the days when VHSs had special features, and you would have to like get to the end of the movie, past the credits to watch them. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all I got really this week. I don't think you even care about that. I Know What You Did Last Time. I'll have to save those for another one.
Those are dope though, man.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I honestly like I don't really collect. I had like 2 Goosebumps ones. I let my brother display because I'm like whatever. I wonder though, man, if I should sell them suckers. Is it? He said Apex or Mike said that my copy was hard to find back in the day. I wonder why.
Because it had the alternate ending.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I had a clamshell version that did that too. So like I bought Evil Dead, the first one, for instance, on VHS probably like 3 different times.
Yeah.
Because they just kept upgrading it. And they would do that thing where they would like put, like I remember at one time I bought another copy of Evil Dead because it had some kind of featurette at the end. And then I bought another one because it was in a clamshell, and the sleeve had like liner notes, like production notes and shit like that. So,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, this was just the basic one that you got. That just had the movie.
Yeah, you know what, too, bro? Like, because I remember I watched this. We watched it a few times, and I adored it. I took it home, and I borrowed it for like a month, and then he's like, oh, and then I finally gave it back. And like, I didn't watch it for a couple years, and I was like, what was that movie? And it was because this cover, you know, like, I never, like, I don't even know if I saw Evil Dead yet, because this was my introduction to it.
Yeah.
You you know, it was weird. You could kind of just jump into this, and you didn't need to see Evil Dead 1 and 2. But I ended up watching like Evil Dead 1 and 2, and then like the way it ended, I was like, dude, I think this is like the sequel. You know, I was like, I think I've seen the movie that is the sequel to Evil Dead 2, you know what I mean? And I went back and I like rented it, or I asked my grandpa, I was like, what was that movie we would watch, you know? And he was like, he's like, it has to be this. I was like, when I watched it, I was like, that's fucking it. And then it ended up being the sequel to, you know what I'm saying? Sequel to Evil Dead 2. That was the kind of weird thing you kind of wouldn't know if you just like saw this at the VHS store. You could just pick this up, you know, and not have no clue about Evil Dead 1 and 2. You know what I mean? I don't hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're so funny. Damn, I wish I had some Hammer films on VHS. Those would look really good on VHS. I feel like.
Well, you have one.
I have one.
Yeah.
Revenge
more than me.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, bro. So next week we got what homework we got for you guys. I guess we're gonna be reviewing a Stephen King, David Cronenberg film. So we recently both picked up The Dead Zone by Scream Factory. So next week, this is what we'll be watching and reviewing, The Dead Zone. And I'm actually excited because I started watching this, and it's been some time since I seen it, and it looks great, man. It's got a 20/20 scan from the original negative, and it looked good. Because I remember when I tried to go back and watch it a few years back, the Blu-ray didn't really look that good, and I just like wasn't really into it. But I was like sucked in on it on this. I thought it really looked good.
Yeah, I had it in a box set that came with. It
was like a 3-pack or something, man. You know, or
I had it in a 4-pack. It was that Silver Bullet, Graveyard Shift, and The Stand.
Yeah. See, I always had, you know, like Silver Bullet cuts. I always had all those, and I was like, I'm not buying it just for like one movie I don't have, you know. So I always like waited, and because I just thought it didn't really look that good, anyways.
You know, The Dead Zone was also that TV show for a while with Anthony Michael Hall. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah. But I'm so glad to own this finally on Blu-ray, man. Like the official Blu-ray. This is the best way to watch it, no doubt, man. It looks really good, especially for a Cronenberg. Like I never really would look at it as a Cronenberg film, you know, because it just feels so.
It's one of the most Cronenberg movies, right?
Yeah, yeah. When I watch it though, when I was watching it, I was like, I felt more Cronenberg with this scan. I don't know, it looks really good. You'll have to let me know what you think.
But it's got
so long since I've seen it, so
it's got Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I used to get this movie and The Prophecy mixed up.
Yeah, probably.
Prophecy movies.
I never really got into those, but yeah, I know what you mean.
There's like 4 or 5 of those fuckers.
Yeah, and do you ever get into those Warlock movies?
Only like the first one, but how many did they do?
I think they did like 3 of those too, maybe 4, maybe even 4.
It's crazy.
I know, but yeah, dude, I even got the little poster for this, man.
Dope.
I don't know, like I don't know why I got the poster for
Karate Kid, Christopher Walken. He's got his Miyagi-Do fucking headband on.
Yeah. Yeah, though, that's gonna be a fun one. Another awesome Stephen King one. We do want to maybe do a little full moon double feature here shortly, so we're gonna figure that out because Horror Fest is approaching on us pretty damn quick, man. We're already in August, baby, and it's going, bro. And
Horror Fest is less than a month away. Man.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's going down. It's going down. So yeah, remember that Stephen King's The Dead Zone. That's your homework this week. Dude, thank you as always, Robbie, for hanging out. I know you weren't feeling that good tonight, so I appreciate you coming, bro. Like you are the fucking man. No better co-host than you.
I love doing this show. I love hanging out with you and talking about horror movies, especially, you know, I watched The Blob. Goddamn it, I was going to be here.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I had to rent this on Amazon. So.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I did enjoy it, and so I'm
I'm
glad.
glad you at least enjoyed it. You know.
I mean, I'll buy the Scream eventually one day. You know,
Yeah.
like I'll buy it on a sale or something.
Right.
So-
Yeah, it's not worth it. Even me loving it, I wouldn't spend 30 on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And if
that's
you notice,
bullshit.
this is such a popular film. Like when it goes out of stock on Amazon, and it usually only goes out of stock for like 2 weeks,
Yeah,
it jumps up to $50 on the
it's
aftermarket.
ridiculous. But dude, it's on Screen Factory for like $25.
Yeah, but
So
when
if you're
I'm just saying when this is out of print,
yeah.
it's gonna be
it's
one of those
it's
ones that's
going.
gonna jump.
Oh yeah, and I got that puppy with the slip.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, thanks everyone who came and hang out. Sam Fett, my boy. Dude, Sam, bro, good to see you, my brother. Like, for real. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a little bit since I seen my boy Sam. I hope everything is all good with you, brother. Apex, Toby, my boy Fable. Dude, thanks to Fable. Only reason I'm in this bitch because he called me. The Cerebros. Yeah, so shout out Fable for that, y'all, for real. Mike Zero, my boy. Shout out the thumbnail, Ricky Redbeard. Who is you? I never Ricky Redbeard. Is that a new one? It might be a new name, bro. New guest unless they're from you. Ariaga, Bobby D. I know brother Joe was up in here. TM, my boy. Stefan was up in here. Dude, we gotta get Steph on the channel, bro. I miss him, bro, for real. John Holshoe. Oh yeah, Bubble Bath and Beyond. I love that name so much, bro. Nick. Let's see, Unruly. My boy Entropy Kevin jumped in here for a little bit. Unruly Simeon, Supreme Comics Girl, and Perry was up in here. I felt bad I didn't even get to say hey to Perry. Or John, and my boy John Thomas was up in here. Two Gun. Yo, we had a bunch of people up in here, yo.
We had Perry on last
Mark
night. Actually.
Brasington. I know, I caught that.
He
What
was
was it
he what?
And Big Herm. What was it that you guys were talking about again? I only caught like
We did Face
20
Off.
minutes. Face Off, yeah.
But he is super pumped for Horror Fest, bro. So we
Yeah.
got to get him on some shows.
I got like 3 more titles I got to put on my list, Mike, and I'll have it ready. When do you need it by? Like, give me a date so I can stop.
Mike's going to be on tour for September and October, so the earlier he can get it, he can go ahead and knock him out for you because he's going to be MIA for like 2 months.
Okay.
So, and the sooner you give it to me, the sooner I can start promoting it on Rockin' Robbie and in the PCP Army.
Yeah. Well, I figured you're gonna like unslate it shortly, so
I already did. I've already revealed the PCP lineup.
Did you?
So, and I'm waiting on yours. I told you this last week, but
I didn't know.
I'm waiting on yours because I want to do a graphic like we did with March Madness, where it shows what we're doing each week. So I'll send you the graphic that I had so that you can reference again.
Okay.
And we can get the list and get the full on Horror Fest list.
I got you.
So we just got half of it so far.
Yeah, I got you.
But I already know most of what you're doing, so like we're really pumped.
Oh yeah, dude. And I'm keeping it to like because we're doing so much on yours, and I don't even care, bro. Like I'm just keeping it to like one movie.
Bro, I'm so proud because Jay Strick and Jelani and Brooks have already started watching Hellraisers before I did.
Did they? Nice.
Yes, they've already started.
So I was watching Nightmare. I watched all the Nightmares and all the Friday, or I gotta watch the Fridays, but I gotta do the Halloweens and the Hellraisers. I gotta do Hellraiser before Halloween, actually, for real. But
yeah, bro, you got 3 weeks to do Hellraiser, so you better get on it.
Yeah, I got 3 weeks for Hellraiser.
This will be the first time I watch 9 and 10, and I'm not looking forward to it. Maybe I should watch them first.
Yeah, seriously, dude, I'm not.
I should watch them in reverse order.
Yeah, I do.
They just keep getting better.
Yeah. I mean, dude, because then by the time you get to like 3, 2, and 1, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so fucking pumped to finally watch the Incredible ones. You know?
Yeah. Like, well, I think the Incredible ones are. I think the Incredible ones are 1, 5, 6, and 7. But that's just me. 1, 5, 6.
I love to. 1, 2, 3. 4.
I know you like 4.
I do like 4.
It's got Adam Scott in it.
Is that what's this? Is that and then I like the space one.
That's 4.
That's 4. Okay. In front of 5 is
5's the one with the cop. 5's
Yeah.
the one with the cop.
That's
Yeah.
probably where after 5. I don't know if I'd have to see.
6 is
7.
6 is. Okay, I get
Snow
6
World,
and 7
maybe?
confused, but 6 is one of 6 and 7. One of them is where Kirsty comes back,
Okay.
right, with her boyfriend, and
I
the
don't
other
know.
one is about the photographer.
Oh really?
And
I don't
Carrie
know if
Warrior. Carrie Warrior plays her. So
I don't, dude. I might have fell off at 6 to be honest.
I honestly think out of everybody I know, I'm the only one who really knows the Hellraiser films. Like all of them.
I know the first 3 like the back of my hand. But
Yeah, but I'm telling you, 5, 6, and 7, baby. Like Deader and Hellseeker and Inferno are fucking awesome.
really?
Sorry, I'm saying it is.
Well, I'm excited to check them out then, but I'm not excited for like 9 and 10. Like I'm like,
Yeah, I've never watched those. I've never seen a Hellraiser film without Doug Bradley, and I just don't know how I'm going to deal with this.
I've seen one. I think the most recent one I like threw on and it was so terrible.
Is that
Are we
Revelation?
doing that?
Yeah, we're doing all 10, bro.
Oh my god! I might check out for after 7.
No, man. Like, let your opinion be known, bro. We're horror show hosts, man. Come on.
I know. I'm excited.
You can't slack during Horror Fest, man. This
No,
is our season.
I know. I can't. But yeah, I'll try. I'm gonna get that to you ASAP, Mike.
Send it to me too, Dylan, please.
Yeah, I will. Well, I'm gonna
All right.
probably send it to you, and then you send it to Mike or whatever. But we got it. So yeah, guys, the Dead Zone next week. Check it out. Amazon's got the Scream Factory, so if you don't own it, want to pick it up, it's the best way to watch it, I'd say. But that's
You
if you got the money to spend. That's if you got the extra. Yeah, you'll get it with the slip too. But yeah, bro. So next week, thank you everyone for hanging out. Robbie, is there anything you got coming up before you want to dip out that you want to mention?
The one thing I do want to mention is that there is not going to be a Rockin' Robbie live tomorrow. I've been doing streams and podcasts nonstop for like 2 weeks now. I was a little under the weather today, so I'm taking tomorrow off. Just going to rejuvenate, chill out, and then Monday morning though we're starting right back up because expect Monday morning a advanced review of Primordial #1 from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, and trust me, it's dope as shit. So
Is it?
Yeah. Yes. And
Really?
FOC is Monday as well. So notice how I timed that. So
Yeah.
go ahead and let your shop know you want Primordial. It's going to be a 6-issue series from the exact same team that did Gideon Falls. And you're not going to be disappointed.
Wow. I didn't know it was gonna be dope as shit. I gotta add it to my poll then, I guess.
Yep.
Sick, bro. Well, no doubt we're gonna miss Sunday night, but you got to get better, man. Get yourself a good night of rest and relaxation, my brother. You deserve it. Busting your ass. And we'll see you guys next week, man. Station. Thank you, everyone, as always. You guys are the best. See you then. Peace out.
Thank you.